I want to be a little careful. I don't want to fall down that hole. Haha. So I'm CJ Miller, and I'm gonna go take a walk around downtown, across the Red River from downtown Shreveport. It's beautiful Bossier City. Come check us out. So yeah, what I'll do is as I'm walking and I'm talking and I think of things to say, I'll unpause the video, and so yay. But yeah, I just it's been really really hot here. Like we've had like a heat index or feel like temperatures have been like 100 plus, and so I've not been out in the daytime. I'm really kind of a nocturnal person anyway, so nighttime is the right time for me. So yay. And anyway, having a soda. But yeah, it's been hot. It's hot out here now, as a matter of fact. But I want to be a little bit more active with my physical health. I want to walk more, and want to do the gym pretty often as I can. I really kind of, with that, I kind of go when the rides go, because the gym that I go to is it's not the YMCA downtown right now. I'm actually going across town to the Planet Fitness, because I go with a buddy, but I go when he goes as a convenience or whatever. But it's just, whoa, stupid kind of hot. So let me pause the video. Okay, so even though some of what I'm wearing is slightly reflective, I still want to be careful. I'm wearing darker colors. I should be wearing something bright, but hey, it's going to work out. I just want to watch the traffic as I'm going across the street. Here we go. These people down here, they, sometimes at night when it's not too busy, right here on Common Street and Fannin and Caddo, they will not slow down. They will come running through here and speeding really fast on their cars. And it's sad because we have children that live there. And, there have been, at least over the years that I've known, 2 children to get hit nearby in that intersection by cars. So I'm assuming that's in the daytime. So when you like if you want to do something other than just snacking, because boredom snacking is what I call it. Just kind of sitting around, you're a little bored, and you got your little bowl of munchies and you're eating out of boredom. What I do to combat that is I walk. I just go out and walk, or sometimes maybe I'll do like some sit-ups on the floor or something like that. But I do have, and I know I've talked about this ad nauseum, I'm sorry, a vacation in January, and it's going to be on a cruise ship, and I want to I don't know be in better shape by the time that rolls around. So I'm definitely going to be very involved with more walks, but also it's very hot out here too, and there's not too much action going on. It's a Monday night in downtown Shreveport, around 10 a.m., maybe a little after. So if there's any kind of action that goes on in any of the clubs or whatever, it'll pick up in a little bit. I like some of the scenes. Let me just kind of, so you don't have to look at my face, we'll look at the walk that I'm taking. Cooper's Corners, lots of fun things. Shreveport celebrating 250 of America. That's awesome. So I didn't go to GeekCon, but GeekCon, they were doing a special engagement, Back to the Future 2 at the Robinson. I didn't go to that one either. It was like, I don't know, I just wasn't like a fanboy over that franchise, you know. I would have liked to have gone to see David Arquette, but he had canceled his appearance, and so I definitely didn't feel the need to go. But let's see what they have going on, and I don't get it. Cat Video Fest, I think I'll pass. Brink of Water, I don't know that one. I'm definitely not going to a Selma. That would be interesting. I don't know Digger. Heart of the Beast. I see Saturday Night Fever. You know, I have tried to get into Saturday Night Fever, the movie, and I never really could. So, but I love how they do bring these retro movies back and have like special events and everything. The last time I went, they were doing Flash Gordon. I did go to that. It was awesome. Okay. Not really too much to see here on this corner. But, you know, people do live in a lot of these downtown buildings. They, you know, a lot of them have been converted into lofts or apartments and everything. So there's a lot of banks and businesses and municipality buildings and everything, but also a lot of people that live down here. It's really kind of interesting, you know. If I ever move from where I am, and probably one day I will, I'll probably move back to the downtown area on this side. I'll probably move into a building called the Lee Hardware Building. I've already got it kind of sussed out in case I ever decide to. But the only thing is that it is so close to that train track. And it's a lot of train traffic. So, but who knows, you know. You know, I've lived actually right next to it before. Some time ago, I lived in a building called the Jefferson, which I think is closed down now. I think I read that they're like permanently closed, and I hope so. But maybe while they're doing remodeling or whatever, because it needed it, you know. But it's kind of the sister building to the Fairmont, which is the building that I used to live in, which really was kind of a not someplace you'd want to live unless you had to. I moved there because I wanted to live downtown, and it was available and it was open and it was great. And after the first year I was going to move, but by that time I knew about the Bayou Grand opening up where I live now, and I was on the waiting list, and I was among the first people, and I'm actually the first person to ever live in my apartment ever. But I do feel like some of the children and young teens that live there have kind of trashed it out and vandalized it a bit. This is one of my favorite features of this area of downtown, catty corner across from the courthouse, and it is Huddy Ledbetter, and he's pointing towards the direction right down here to the neighborhood that I actively live in. And it used to be called Ledbetter. It was also known as the Bottoms, as in being St. John's Bottoms. And of course, now the primary residents are the G Unit Studios and Bayou Grand, where I live. Pretty much take up the bulk of the area that used to be the Bottoms, or Ledbetter Heights, or whatever, you know. So there's still some of it that's kind of there, but it was like one of the original in our town in Shreveport. It was like a red light district, meaning there it is. Hang on. Fat Tuesday. I did not know where this is. Now I do. And it used to be a coffee shop. It used to be a sandwich shop. It used to be something else other than Fat Tuesdays. But it's always been something. There's always been some sort of snack or lunch counter or something like that. So that's great. Let me go check out this menu real quick. Not bad. Now that I know where it is, this is their a la carte thing. This is their lunch. Let's see what their lunches look like. Yeah, you do want to bring a little money to have the lunch here, but why not, right? And it's a takeaway. So they have these little tables to eat out here. So it really is going to be, let's come here and get something, you know. I could see the people that work down here, this would be a great thing for them. So, guess that's the same a la carte menu that's over here. Fruit and yogurt, Texas Street Hangover. Cute. Bacon, egg, blah, blah, blah. And a hoagie, then sprinkled with powdered sugar. That's the king. Went to Nola. I possibly could do this Texas Street Hangover sandwich. I'm not really a boudin person. Boudin is kind of like very similar to a rice dressing that is made and then put into a sausage casing. And boudin person. If I do eat boudin, it's like I go someplace and they have like fried boudin that's been rolled into a ball or something like that. It's different. But basically, a rice stuffing that I'm talking about, maybe you take your Holy Trinity, your celery, onion, bell pepper, throw in maybe a little bit of garlic or whatever, kind of season it how you want, with some sausage meat. Brown all that up, and then make your rice. So it's really kind of put it in rice. So it's really, and I don't know what the ratio of rice to sausage is, but that's basically it. It's a rice and sausage meat kind of thing, the boudin. But when I was a little kid, I got turned off from it because of the name. Boudin reminded me of the word booty, and I thought it was like, audibly I would hear it and I would think, that's gross, I'm not eating that. So I really couldn't get into it. And then of course I've eaten and had made rice sausage stuffing and realized, oh my god, it's really the same thing, So yeah, you live, you learn, right? Okay, hang on. And hey, there's no reason to litter downtown because just every other block there's these little trash receptacles that are pretty cool. I mean, no reason to litter any place. If you live in a town, that's your town. Take pride in it. Do the best you can. Do your bit. Kind of keep it up. And of course, not too much is going on. Everything seems kind of quiet at the foot of the Texas Street Bridge, and it's a blind tiger. It's been here for probably almost 40 years now. I don't know. I need to get back in there one of these days and have lunch again. They have really great catfish. They have really great just everything. If you're there downtown and you're looking for a place to eat, Blind Tiger will hook you up. So But the sneeze, hang on. Yeah, there's not too much going on under the bridge tonight. There's a little bit of partying going on. I love to see people have a good time. Now, I don't drink anymore, or don't do drugs, but I still like to get out and have a good time. So, yeah, some things will never change. People will always want to have a good time. Okay, but let me pause this again until I get across the street near the water. It's really why I came down here, to check out the water, the river. Yay, here we are. I'm down here. I don't think there's too much going on down here. Nobody's lying out, sleeping, or anything like that. So that happens a lot down here. I'll come down here and I'll see somebody hunkered down or whatever. They're living outside, and I try to leave them alone. Hopefully, some of the shelters are open past their normal capacity, because it is exceptionally hot, like dangerously so. It's so dangerous that we got a notice in the email that the Southwestern Electric Power Company is not going to disconnect anybody for non-payment this particular week. How very lovely of them. That they would extend their services for about a week or so before disconnecting them. How lovely. Probably still going to charge them some extra, but like maybe they'll say, hey, we didn't disconnect you, but we're going to charge you and make the same anyway. As I don't know. I today am blessed to be able to pay the electric bill. I do remember there were times when we were so poor that we had to choose sometimes between food and paying an electric bill, or paying a water bill or something like that, and we had to finagle and get by the best that we can. We were not affluent people growing up. We were poor people, and sometimes we just didn't have those things. In fact, I've lived in with people, and as a younger adult, we didn't have the means to pay everything, and keep it on all the time. So I don't know if we've all been there, but a lot of us have. And yeah, sometimes it is tough. I guess the pattern that the bridge is lit whenever it cycles, and yay, it kind of twinkles like this and then starts over on its animated light pattern or whatever. One of the things that I can do when I come out walking like this is, like I talked about, it stops with the it kind of cuts down the boredom snacking, but also by the time I get home from a walk like this, it's usually the next day, and all my dietary counts, my carb counts, my calorie counts, all that reboots for me. I decided some time ago at midnight, so then I can eat again. So yay. Cool. I'm gonna walk around to the I guess the staging area over here. You know, I think without quite realizing it, I have stumbled upon my theme for this video, which is basically the idea of perseverance. I've talked about struggling through times of, less financial security and not being able to keep the bills on and stuff like that during times and everything. And it's, sometimes you really just gotta get into your gut and find that perseverance and keep pushing. And for me, there's always been some sort of, underneath it all, some sort of understanding that things were always going to work out. I may not have understood what it was going to be, what it was going to look like. I didn't understand how I would be changed going through some of the struggles that I went through. But I knew somehow that I was going to come through the other side of it. And I've had a lot of struggles, a lot of those were of my own doing, due to my lack of commitment to my own staying of the course. But so a lot of that was just, I'll chalk it up to a lot of inexperience and not knowing how to get the experience that I need. And the best way to get experience in life is to keep on living. And how you keep on living is you persevere. And you do that even in those times when you're really down, right? You see, I have a diagnosis. I'm bipolar 1 to be specific. And it's the same malady that they used to call manic depressive disorder. And now it's bipolar, and there's several different categories and everything like that. But the main thing that you do when you're at your lowest is you hang on. When you're desperately tired, you're so tired that you just don't want to struggle anymore. If you persevere through your lowest of your lows, it does turn around. You do get past it. Situations do change, and you know what? Sometimes you do have to reach out for help, and damn it, there's no shame in that. I don't care who you are, what your status in life is, how high up you are in that echelon thing, how low you are in your circle group. I do not care, persevere, survive, endure. Because let me tell you, if I can survive some of the things that I've been through, and if I can survive some of the things that I've even put myself through, it's pretty bad, rough times sometimes. Not that life was always bad for me, but sometimes, I played a big part in making those challenges really tough for myself. But you know what? Through it all, there was something that always let me know that something was going to change. I remember there was this one time, and I mentioned it, I lived in the Jefferson, and I was okay. I I was entrapped in this cycle, and I wanted desperately for change. You know, I wanted interruption to that cycle. I did not feel powerful upon my own to interrupt that destructive cycle that I was in. But I did know something was going to happen. I didn't know what. I knew one of these days it was what I was in. I knew it was going to end by means of some sort of dramatic change. I did not know. You know, sometimes all I could do was just sit in one spot and exist until an answer came to me. You know, when I just had to take my life and put it in the hands of faith, whatever that was, whatever that looked like or whatever. But I just knew there were some times that I just couldn't do anything else but that grace to change me and save me from that situation. It was always there. It always happened, you know. And there is not anything that is... I'm not exceptionally talented. I don't have this great philosophical insight. I'm not even a great orator. I'm not even a great speaker. I can present. I can put on a good presentation, you know, give it enough time and, you know, everything. I can pull it together and sound good. But just at my gut level, I'm just a person, you know, like any other. And if I can survive tough times, then I feel like just about anybody can survive, you know, especially those tough moods and those tough situations and those tough life circumstances when you just don't know what you're going to do, when you just don't know how you're going to make the ends meet, you just don't know how the kids are going to get fed next week, when it's all weighing down on you, you know. There's always going to be a relief that comes from that, you know. If you just hang on, you will get through it. It really does help if at times there's the fortitude to reach out and help. The help that you reach out for, though, has to be appropriate. You know, like if I step in a bear trap and my foot is gushing blood, it's not going to do me any good to call a therapist, you know, and say, gee, I don't know what to do. I actually have to go to a physical doctor and get it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the help that I need to go to the right place to get the right kind of help that I need, you know. But help, especially in the United States, it's available, you know. Even if it's only temporary, sometimes temporary is enough to get a person good, you know. For me, I had to go through a very dramatic metamorphosis. I had to go through a really dramatic change from the way that I was in my 20s and 30s. And maybe it doesn't always seem that way and it doesn't always look apparent, but that was a real psychological change that I went through and a real spiritual change that I went through. That was really part perseverance and a large part of providence and grace, you know. So I don't know. So yeah, that was my topic, a little perseverance, and that's great. And I don't mind talking about those tough times because it is a part of life. I have no doubt tough situations will abound in the future, but I do know I can get through them, you know. And I feel like anybody can. I feel like if I get through what there is to get through, then just about anybody can get through those things. So there you go. Because like I said, there's absolutely nothing special. As a matter of fact, a lot more people are a lot more qualified to endure those things than me, you know. There are well springs of strength from deep inside of the self that you never know until you have to test them out. You know? Okay, let me pause the video. Now I'm going to explore a new way. I've never actually, I hope I'm not trespassing. I'm a pedestrian. I'm walking between two businesses. And I hope there's a throughway. I'm just trying to find, you know, pedestrian shortcuts. Yeah, I think I've got it. So, how fun is this, right? That I could come right here and be right here. Yay. But also, what have I done? Have I put myself inside of a fence? Wouldn't that be fun? See, that would be a lesson learned. You know? I think this is a parking structure in which I'm not meant to be inside of. And I don't know that there's a way out of on this side. How creepy of me. Huh. Well, I tell you, if you park over here looking for security for your car, you're not going to get it. Nobody is here. What to do. Walk all the way back around there, or jump over this thing to the street like a weirdo. Screw it. Last thing I need is to be climbing over something and some police car come walking by and it look like I'm being weird. See, I do get a little. But that's cool. I've done some exploration. Maybe this is like where people can park when they work here or something. Or near here. I don't know. Go figure. Why is it closed? Smile. Smile, you're on camera. I thought I had found a shortcut. Well, you never know until you know. That was not a shortcut. but I'm just going to go right under the bridge here. Okay, so I'm going to sign off on this video here. I'm just under the bridge. I'm about to take off walking home. I'll be back home shortly, but I'm going to sign off here so that I can save some battery on my phone. And I don't want to be talking and the video suddenly cut out. So let me just say to everybody, stick with it, persevere, God bless, love and light, peace. Good night. Take care of your health, mental, and yeah, physical. Get some exercise.